going to learn Docker stop command. First of all, why do we need Docker stop? Imagine you have started a Nginx container. Now you got the requirement like to free the port where the Nginx is running. Next requirement like update the application. You are done with the testing. You want to save resource, and many more scenarios are there, but these are the main scenario where we used to stop the container. Basic syntax for stopping the container is docker stop the container name. Let's view the running container. Here we are having a running container. To container docker stop, we have to give the container name or the image name. So always it's recommend to have a image name from your own instead of this random. It will be helpful for this kind of task. See, now we'll see Docker is running or not. No, it's not running. Now if we see Docker ps, okay, but the container is still there. 30 seconds ago this one exited. 30 seconds ago this one is there. So the container is there but it stopped running. What is happening internally when we are hitting the docker stop command? First of all, we already know any command we will hit, it will we are interacting with the docker client, then docker client is sending request to the docker engine. Now the docker engine will send a system signal to stop the container, and the application will take some time to shut down, then only the container will stop. Every application running on the Linux receives signal. The first signal, the first signal Docker sending for the first signal is system signal. So what is this system means? A polite request to stop the container gracefully. What does it means? Finish your work and shut down properly. If we take an example of a Spring Boot application, imagine that this is running and it is in a middle of a transaction, like payment services in the middle of the transaction. So it will when it will send the signal, system signal, it is saying that complete your pending task, and then we will shut down the container. In which case this will be helpful means to finish the current request, then close the database connection. What else it can do? Save the log, release resources, then exit cleanly. What if the application ignore the system signal? Docker will wait for 10 seconds. If the application still has not stopped, Docker will send sick kill. Just how it sent the system, the Docker will now send sick kill. So what does it mean? I'm not waiting. Stop immediately, and it will stop forcefully. Now there are two scenarios we got here. When we are asking Docker to stop. It is sending the system signal, and now it will wait for 10 seconds. If application stopped and if application not stopped. If stop, then it's fine. Okay, nothing to do. If it is not stopped, then it will send the kill signal again. Now it will stop forcefully without waiting. So we already saw that when the Docker stopped, it is only stop the container, not deleting it. When we will view Docker ps a, we can see the container, right? Because it is not deleted. So why we just don't delete it instead of keeping it? Because assume that you are having a application which version is 1. Now you got the second version of this application. You stopped it and you run it and you did the testing. Now when you want to test the v1, if the application is inside the container, we don't have to pull it again. We can directly run the application. This is the scenario where the stopping the application instead of deleting is fair enough. Now we'll see some production insights. In production, we don't actually stop the containers manually. So manually is not there inside production. We don't have to do that. Instead of that, there are so many tools like Kubernetes, Docker, Compose, ECS, EKS. These are the tools which will take care of stopping your container. Basically, it is responsible for the life cycle. We don't do manual thing there.